Luis Garcia, your picks for La Liga this season are as follows. You've got Barcelona winning it.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised?
Wait a second. Real Madrid's not even a favorite, not even second, third. Okay, let's listen to what he says first.
Real Madrid in third.
Well, I think that at the moment, and again, we are not going to talk again about what Barcelona have done and if they register or not all the players. I think that on paper, I think that, I agree totally with Craig that Xavi's got a lot of pressure, he's got a lot of things to prove, and of course, he hasn't had the experience that all the managers have been working for many years. But I think that he's got a Ferrari at the moment, he needs to drive it, and if he drives well, he should be on the top of La Liga next season. Atletico Madrid is one of those teams that is going to surprise once again. I think the last year it was a bit confusing. I think the Joao Felix is going to turn up once again, Griezmann as well. And
suddenly, Joao Felix will be playing superb. He's one of my favorite players at Atletico Madrid. One player of Atletico Madrid that I want in Real Madrid is Joao Felix. However, being said that, he was overhyped. He's yet to show what he's capable of. And Griezmann, who is almost non-existent, I don't think you should expect anything from Griezmann. That ship is sailed. At least for Barcelona's defense, you can say, I agree with you that on paper, at least their front three looks a little bit more dangerous than Real Madrid. However, being said that, don't sleep on Real Madrid's front trio. Vinicius will be much better than last year, in my opinion. And Rodrigo is the one who needs to up his game. Once he's done that, no one is going to stop Real Madrid's team.
They are going to do a great job. I think they're going to be back again to the Atletico Madrid we all know, being very compact, very well organized at the back, and getting results. And I think that even though that Rudiger is a fantastic player at the back to help Real Madrid, that Tchouaméni, Camavinga, they're going to be fantastic replacement into the middle to give fresh legs to this Real Madrid midfield. I think there is not going to be enough once again to get all the trophies. I think there is going to be a long season with a World Cup in between. You have to count with that, and I think that they are not going to have the depth in their squad to compete in every single competition, including the World Cup, with a lot of players getting involved. So
one of the reasons he gave why he picked Real Madrid will be third in La Liga is also the World Cup. Isn't it all the teams have some players that will play for World Cup? Atletico has players who will play for World Cup. Barcelona has players who will play for World Cup. Not just Real Madrid, but for somehow he's suggesting that Real Madrid players will suffer because of World Cup, but not other teams. What kind of logic is that? He also said Tchouaméni and Rudiger are not enough for Real Madrid to compete in La Liga. This Real Madrid team won La Liga and Champions League. Now, given you add these two players who are phenomenal at their position, this Real Madrid team will be better than last year. Who did Atletico got that so that they'll be better than Real Madrid? Also, he said Xavi has Ferrari. It's not about having Ferrari. You have to know how to drive Ferrari. I mean, Xavi has shown his potential in certain matches against even Real Madrid. However, there was some time he has shown that his inexperience. He failed to win against Benfica when they needed to. He failed to win against Frankfurt in Europa League. Those are the matches that tell you about the coach, because he has a good tactics, but once his tactics doesn't work, he doesn't know what to do. So we have to wait to see what he can do. Also, two other points. Lewandowski as a top goal scorer, that's entirely possible. In my opinion, that will be either Benzema or Lewandowski. If you pick Lewandowski over Benzema, that's totally fine, because that's possible. On the other hand, as a Real Madrid fan, we might pick Benzema. That's also fine. But the shocking inclusions that shocked me was that Pedri as a player of the year. There's no doubt about his potential as a player. But to say he will be player of the year, that's a little bit might be far-fetched.
Teams in first and second. In a nutshell, Ali, who are your picks?
Well, the first thing that I like to say is that Luis mentioned that Xavi will be...
So LA literally picked what Luis picked, just shuffled Real Madrid over Atletico Madrid. That's it. Is it to soothe Real Madrid fans?
Driving a Ferrari. If Luis follows Formula One, he doesn't want Xavi driving a Ferrari. He wants Xavi driving a Red Bull. Because otherwise, then Barcelona will finish second. That's all I'm about to say regarding Formula One. In terms of what I think is going to happen, I am concerned about Real Madrid and Karim Benzema and a World Cup, and the potential of Karim Benzema somehow being injured or unavailable to Real Madrid.
Benzema dependency or Real Madrid. That's a good point. But if we take that logic, if we apply that theory, can't we also apply for Barcelona? I think they'll be dependent on Lewandowski. Think about if Lewandowski gets injured, who's going to score those goals for Barcelona? It's for every team. When Messi was at Barca, when Messi was injured, they were struggling to score goals. That's what happens when you have a big star player. And that is applicable to every team. Why you are just applying for Real Madrid only? Why not for Barca?
He was so critically important to their success last year, and we saw time and time again that whenever he was out, there was no answer. And Eden Hazard is not the answer, won't be the answer. So I don't...
Eden Hazard wasn't the answer, but won't be the answer. How do you say that? We have seen from the friendly match that he's not ideal as a false nine. However, how come you make a conclusions based on only 2 or 3 games? When a player plays in a new position, he needs more time than 3 games.
See Karim Benzema having quite the same season that he had last year, and in that drop-off, I think Real Madrid comes back to the crowd.
Okay, why do you say Benzema will drop off his performance? Based on what? I think Benzema will be better than last year. At least give us some explanation why you think so.
Barcelona, with the new additions and the new players, takes a jump up. Barcelona finishes first, Real Madrid finishes second, and then Atletico Madrid, they'll finish third, but nowhere near the top 2, but really not threatening from anybody behind them, because I just don't think that the trailing pack is going to be good enough to trouble Atletico Madrid. They'll finish third.
There are a lot of assumptions from LA about injury to Real Madrid player, especially for Benzema. Can we apply the same logic to Barcelona? Have we not seen Barcelona last season? A good number of players from Barcelona were injured. Fati, Ipe, Pedri, even Dembele, who was fit only 1 season so far, who is totally injury prone. A Barca team who is full of players who might be injured more likely than Real Madrid, and you're assuming that they'll be fit. But we have to wait to see what will happen.
Have you got Barcelona winning it all too, Craig?
No, I've got Real Madrid again.
So why have you got Real Madrid and not Barcelona?
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
Okay, come on, tell us. Why don't you know? Because Real Madrid won the La Liga last year and they strengthened their team. So on paper, they're better than last year. So they're likely to win a La Liga again. Say it.
you know, it's a bit of solidity there. I can see as the years get on, it could be tough for Benzema. I'm not sure about the World Cup. I think the French will all fall out with each other and they'll probably end up not going, something like that. But I've got Real Madrid, Barca. I think Atletico Madrid have to be more consistent than last year. I mean, they were really inconsistent. And I'm the same. I've got Villarreal in 4th. Interestingly, I went for Vinicius Junior as a player of the year. I'm intrigued to see if he can have 2 really good seasons in a row and then keep that momentum going, because he was outstanding last year. And if he does that again, and if he improves even on that, then that's obviously going to help Karim Benzema. But it was a toss of a coin for me, Lewandowski and Benzema, but I've stuck with Mr. Frenchman.
At least someone has some logic why they have chosen specific players. He has chosen Vinicius as player of the year based on last year's performance. What he said, he was phenomenal, Vinicius, last year. He keeps improving this year. He'll be one of the best players in the world, not just La Liga or Real Madrid. So based on the statistics, Vinicius is one of the potential players. At least I agree with that. Now, unlike other experts who has chosen players based off nothing, based off a player who has just played 12 matches in the whole season. But again, in my opinion, the player of the year will be either Benzema or Lewandowski. Well, at least Craig showed less bias, unlike other 2 pundits.